On this episode of Kemp Outside, we take a look at the Sylvan 8520 Mirage 4-point fish model. Check it out. Hey guys, I'm Kevin with Kemp Outside, your inside source for all things outside. So today I'm doing another pontoon boat fishing video. I'm out here on Medard Reservoir in Hillsborough County, Florida. We're fishing for bass today, and I say we because it's me and my dog Ellie. I'm out here on Pontoon-A-Fish, which is our 20-foot Sylvan 8520 Mirage 4-point fish model. Now the 4-point fish model is different from the other pontoon models in the Mirage series for Sylvan in that it has fishing chairs on all four corners of the pontoon boat. And this boat is set up for fishing. It has live wells front and rear. It has, like I said, fishing chairs. It has a bait station in the back, rod holders and that kind of stuff. And then I've further added a few things to this boat to make it a whole lot more fishable. So I'm going to give you a little tour of this pontoon boat and kind of show you how we use it. Guys, if you are looking for a fishing boat and you don't want a bass boat, or you don't want a center console or a dual console fishing boat, you know, depending on where you are, and by and large where you're fishing is rivers, lakes, bays, a pontoon boat can be a fantastic option for you. And if you haven't checked out my pros and cons video, it's pros and cons of fishing off a pontoon boat. I'm going to put a link right up here, and then also one right down in the description. Check out that link and watch that video. I fish off a 8520 Sylvan Mirage cruise and fish up in Minnesota. It's my father-in-law's boat, and I fish off that quite a bit when I'm in Minnesota because I don't haul Pontoon-A-Fish up there. But check out that video, and then also check out this boat, because I think you're going to be pretty surprised at what you can do with a pontoon boat. So with that, let's get started with the tour. Okay guys, so we're going to start off by taking a look at the bow of the boat. And as you can see, it has two very, very comfortable fishing chairs. Now, I do have to say that I upgraded from the basic 4-point fish model to, and I can't remember what they call the upgrade. So I'll put it in the description to show you. But basically, it's got two fishing chairs, very comfortable. And of course, in typical pontoon style, it's got cup holders everywhere. And then this is the front live well, guys. And it's awesome. It's nice and deep. You can see I got a bait net in there and a standpipe and everything. And you just unscrew the standpipe to drain it. But it's nice and deep, and we can keep a lot of bait in there. And then I added these Driftmaster fishing rod holders. So you can put rods out. So here's a great example of one. I've got a rod sitting in the rod holder, you know, just like that. Or you can, if you're spider rigging for crappie, you can just set them so they sit, you know, straight out. Or I've added these extra rod holders that go like that. So that's really nice when you're baiting the rod or that kind of thing, or you just want rods out of the way. When you're running, I leave them stood up like that. Let me go ahead and secure that hook while I'm thinking about it. And then, like I said, very, very comfortable chairs. I've got armrests you can raise and lower. And then right here is another bench seat. Let me move some gear out of the way. And so you can look inside. So I just keep gear in there. But I do have a drain plug for it. You can fill that and make it a live well. Or you can make it a cooler. It's not very well insulated, but it'll hold ice for about a day or so. And then on the pontoon boat set up for fishing, instead of a full front door, we have a half door. And that half door allows you to bring in your trolling motor, and then it'll sit basically right here when we're running out of the way. I use the Minn Kota trolling motor with iPilot, so I use a remote control to control it. so I can control it from anywhere on the boat, which is really nice. And it also has spot lock, so if I hit the little anchor button on the remote control, it will hold our position even if there's some current or some wind. So here's the controller, and as you can see, I've got a little anchor A and an anchor, but there's no wind, so it's not moving at all. Okay, so it also has a side door on the port side. That side door is great for entry at the dock. It's very easy to get on and off pontoon boats. And then, you know, as we move toward the middle of the pontoon, this boat has the standard L couch. It does have a mount for a table, but I don't keep the table in here because it just gets in the way. And then behind that cooler there, that folds up into a changing room, like a dressing room, or you can carry a 5-gallon bucket and a toilet seat like a luggable loo and turn that into a little bathroom if you need to, if you've got kids on board or other people that might need a bathroom. And then of course the big bimini top, that's fantastic for getting out of the sun. It's not so great if you've got to walk a fish around the boat. If you're fighting a fish and it's trying to swim around the boat, you've got to navigate against those poles. You know, get your basically hand the rod off as you go around those things. But you know, I'll take the shade any day in Florida. It's just too hot, and it's good for kids too. So there's the rear of the boat. So as I come around, it has 2 more fishing chairs. These are folded down. They're not as big as the front captain's chairs. They're more like little jump seats, but they're still very comfortable to fish out of. And I added 2 more of the Driftmaster rod holders in the back, there and there. And then this is the what I call a bait station, basically. It has 4 rod holders for rod storage. You can store like a fillet knife, or I have 2 sets of pliers there. Has cup holders again, because this boat, I think it has 19 cup holders on it. So, and then 2 fishing rod holders for if you're trolling or just fishing and want to put your rod in a rod holder. And then this is the rear live well, as you can see. It's another nice size live well. Definitely holds a lot of bait, easy to use. And then it has a measuring tape right there on the lid, so anything up to an 18-inch fish you don't have to pull out a ruler for, which is nice. So this boat is equipped with a 115 horse Yamaha 4-stroke. I really like that motor. This boat will do about 20 miles an hour. Well, it cruises about 20. I can get 25 out of it if it's just me on the boat. If we're loaded down and have a lot of people and gear and stuff, it's a little slower. And then pontoon boats always have these awesome swim ladders, so it's very easy to get on and off the boat. And this boat has rear entry doors on each side of the bait station. So definitely an easy way to get on and off. This boat is also equipped with a rod locker. So that rod locker, I can keep up to 4 7-foot rods in there. It might take 7-foot 6-inch rods, but I don't have any. So, but I can easily put my 7-foot rods in there. And then let's go to the helm. So definitely a nice, comfortable helm seat. That's typical of pontoon boats. And then here's the helm, steering. That's your shifter and throttle, key, kill switch, and lanyard. You know, very, very typical. And then I have pretty much a standard gauge package with a battery gauge, a fuel gauge, mile per hour gauge, RPM gauge, trim gauge, and I put in a hour meter. Most pontoon boats will come with a stereo and then a panel of switches, pretty standard stuff. And then for extra help finding the fish, I run 2 Garmin units. I run a Garmin 741 XS, which is a touchscreen GPS chart. It has both Garmin's Lake View for freshwater lakes and it's blue chart for saltwater. I've fished, guys, I've fished all over. I've had this boat in Lake Superior, Lake Erie. I've had it up in Cross Lake, Minnesota, cruising up the Tahquamenon River in the Upper Peninsula of Michigan. I've had it on Guntersville Lake in Alabama. I've had it in the bayou, Louisiana, south of New Orleans. I've had it in Clarks Hill Lake, also Strom-Thurmond Reservoir in Georgia, the border of Georgia and South Carolina. Guys, I've had this boat everywhere, and those charts, I'm never without the chart. So great job, Garmin, on that. Bottom line is, guys, I love this boat. So I'm back at the house, but I realized I didn't tell you about my other sonar graph. So with that, let me show it to you. So guys, as I mentioned before, I run a GPS Map 741 XS touchscreen, and this one has all of the things that you could possibly want. If you want a chart, chart is great, but also it definitely has the your traditional sonar, and of course I'm out of the water, so it's going to look weird. But it did not have chirp, guys, and it didn't have the side scan or the down view sonar. So what I did was I went ahead and I got this Garmin Striker 7SV. And so what I use for this one is primarily this GPS map. I go back and I leave that on my navigation chart, so it's on chart all the time. And then over here, I use a variety of views, whether I use my regular chirp sonar, that's down view, which obviously I'm not in the water, so you don't see it, and then that's the side scan. But I can also choose any combination, so I can run just traditional sonar and side scan, or I can run any combination, just the side view, pretty much anything I want. This also does have a GPS, but it does not have chart. But I don't need chart because I can run it on my other model. So I did have the option to add a black box to my 741 XS and a new transducer, but I was going to spend over $500 to give myself those features. And this Garmin Striker 7SV I got for less than the cost of the black box. So running two screens is the way to go. And as you can see, I just have them mounted up on ram mounts. So I'm sitting back when I'm driving. It's very, very easy to see them. And it definitely helps me in finding the fish. I do fish a lot of artificial reefs in Tampa Bay, and when I fish those reefs, having the chirp sonar and the down view and the side view is fantastic for helping me find those fish. So with that, that's the sonar and chart plotter I run on Pontoon-A-Fish. So a couple more things. Under the L couches that I showed you are storage bins. I didn't open them because they're chock full of stuff. I've got anchors in there, anchor ropes, life jackets, all kinds of things. And then also under the helm itself is some more storage. I've got my trolling motor batteries under the helm storage. I keep a 5-gallon bucket in there. It's a bait bucket / whatever else you might want a 5-gallon bucket for, and then also a dry box with my boat registration and extra stuff like phone chargers and that kind of stuff. So flare gun, safety gear, fire extinguisher, all that stuff. So there isn't a whole lot of storage on this boat compared to other pontoon boats that have the front couches. Just because there's no storage under the seats. So there is less storage on this than what I would say a typical pontoon, but we make up for it by using our space effectively. It's really not that bad unless you've got a lot of people on board. I think the Coast Guard safety rating for this boat is 10 people. I would not put 10 people on a 20-foot pontoon. It's just too many. Of course, and also it's 10 people or 1,400 pounds. 1,400 pounds divided by 10 people is 10 140-pound people. So you got to keep that in mind. I'm a big guy, so obviously I'm more than 140 pounds, quite a bit more. And so I definitely count for 2. But I've put, with kids and stuff, I've put 7 or 8 people on the boat, and that's about all I would do and then if it was adults, maybe 6. So it does fish 4 people very comfortably, each person getting a chair if they want, or they can stand up. It's very easy to stand around those chairs and stand up to fish if you want. I do everything from, you know, saltwater fishing in the bay to offshore on calm days. I've had this boat 12 miles out in the Gulf of Mexico. I do bass fishing with this boat. I crappie fish with this boat. I bluegill fish with this boat. I reef fish with this boat, so artificial reefs in Tampa Bay and then offshore. So we target sheep's head in the late winter, early spring. We love to go mackerel fishing on this boat, so we catch a lot of Spanish mackerel, and we troll for kingfish and everything else. Just love to go fishing off this boat, and there's not much you can't do with it. So it is a saltwater series. I should mention that from Sylvan. So it does have the nice big pontoon logs, and those pontoon logs are shaped like a V, so the boat does plane a little bit more than just push through the water, which is really nice for speed and control, and it also cuts through the waves pretty well. The other thing that I really like about this boat is it has an underskirting of aluminum, and that definitely helps when you're in some rougher water. And then I really like the construction of this boat. Everything is you know, bolted together with really solid stainless hardware. It isn't just screwed together like some of the less expensive pontoon boats or pontoon boats in the past. As I say to anybody who's looking at pontoon boats, this is not your grandfather's pontoon boat. This is not a little bass buggy with a 25 horse motor that just putts along. Although the older I get, the better that sounds for maintenance and stuff, and especially if you're on a little lake. But if you are looking for a good family boat, if you want to get your kids fishing, I really recommend pontoon boats for a lot of things. Now, it's not particularly fast. If you're used to a bass boat or a center console with a 250 horsepower motor or bigger, you're gonna feel like you're crawling in a pontoon boat. As I said, this thing cruises at about 18 to 20 miles an hour and 25 mile an hour max. So it's not fast, but it is faster than, you know, idle speed. And then also, if you're a hardcore fisherman and you really want to be able to fight fish all the way around the boat, the bimini top does get in the way. But that's not unique to pontoon boats. That's any boat that has a bimini top. The other thing that I would say in its favor, as I said in the pros and cons video on my other look at the Sylvan Cruise and Fish, is that the pontoon boat is a very stable platform. People can move around. It's not gonna rock. It's very stable for people who might get a little seasick, like my wife. She really likes it because it's very comfortable. And then the shade that the bimini allows and the comfort of the seats. It's a very, very comfortable boat. If you guys have ever fished out of a small center console or a small bass boat with kids and stuff like that, a lot of times, you know, people that aren't, you know, really into hardcore fishing, they're very uncomfortable. So this is a great family boat. We also pull tubes, pull knee boarders. We can water ski off this boat. It doesn't have the ski pylon like my father-in-law's boat. If you saw that video, we didn't opt for that, but I'm actually thinking about adding one and also mounting some extra fishing rod holders to it. All in all, it is a fantastic boat, guys. I really, really like the Sylvan 8520 Mirage 4-point fish model. Once I get it back on the trailer, because I'm out here floating at Medard Reservoir, I will do a walk around of it on the trailer so you guys can see the pontoons and everything and the underskirting. Bottom line, guys, if you are looking at pontoon boats and you're thinking, I don't know whether I can really fish off that, I'm going to do a little photo montage in this video where I show you the fish that I've caught off this boat, just so that you can see that we really do fish hardcore on this boat. Check it out. So I hope you enjoyed that little photo montage of all the fish that we've caught on Pontoon-A-Fish. As you can see, we freshwater fish with this, we saltwater fish, we fish in lakes, we fish in rivers, we fish in bays and estuaries, and we do go offshore in the Gulf of Mexico. So we fish pretty hard, and we love fishing off Pontoon-A-Fish. So I have her on the trailer now, so we're gonna go ahead and do a walk around and you can see what she looks like on the trailer. So the first thing I wanna show you is the way the trolling motor sits when it's put up for running. So as you can see, it slides in its little tray there, and as I work my way over the ladder, you can see it just slides right through the half door and up under the seat there, nice and out of the way. So I really like the Saltwater series pontoon boats by Sylvan, and they definitely handle the saltwater really well. As you can see, there's the aluminum. Basically, it just kind of gives me a smoother ride and protects the bottom of the boat. I really like that. And then here's the pontoon, and as you can see, the pontoons are shaped as V's. That allows for some planing and some nice cutting through the water. The swim ladders on these are awesome. All you have to do is undo these two snaps. There's one there, and one there, and then that will fold all the way down. So as you can see, makes a great boarding ladder, whether you want to use it while the boat is on the trailer or to use it when you're swimming or water skiing or whatnot. It's a great ladder. And then it's actually really easy to pull it up too, because all you have to do is grab the strap and you give it a yank and up it goes. And you just snap it back in and it's secure. Adding fuel to pontoon boats is very, very simple, as the gas can sits right in front of the motor mount. So all I do is open this up and then just fill it right at the gas station, or put a funnel in it and fill it up with 5-gallon gas cans. The battery box is right there. It's easy to get to. I've had to give people a jump on the water, so it's strapped in there, but it's not too hard to get to. And then I use one of these, was it NOCCO, N-O-C-C-O, I think, battery tenders for the motor battery. And then I just plug this in. I have it zip tied up and out of the way, and I just plug that in when I store it, and that keeps the battery nice and charged. As you saw up on the boat when I was going over my sonar chart plotters, I run 2 plotters, and so they each have their own transducer. This is the transducer for the Garmin touchscreen, the 741 XS. And then if you look over here, that is the transducer for the other Garmin unit. And that transducer gives me both the side view and down view, as well as chirp, which is why I run that second unit. And then if you can see right there, that is the pump for the live well. So actually that pump needs to be replaced. They don't last forever, so they're obviously very easy to change. You just pop it out, go ahead and open up the wire lead there and wire in a new pump. Also, if you look at the back of the pontoon, you can see the V-shape bottom. And of course, she's repping Kemp Outside. So I guess a few things I forgot to mention. Number one, this is a 2017 Sylvan 8520 Mirage 4-point fish. It does have those planing tubes, and those are called RPT, and I think it stands for Revolutionary Planing Technology, if I remember correctly. That's what Sylvan calls them. I do really like the way they cut through wakes, as well as the way the boat does plane a little bit, which helps with fuel economy and top speed and that kind of stuff. All in all, guys, this is a fantastic platform for fishing. I highly, highly recommend pontoon boats. I fish pontoon boats almost exclusively, as I said in my previous video, between my father-in-law's 8520 Cruise and Fish up in central Minnesota, and then of course our Sylvan here that we lovingly call Pontoon-A-Fish. We fish off this thing all the time, and I could not recommend a better family boat. If you want to be able to take your kids, if you want your kids to be able to take a buddy. Guys, if you have a little 20-foot center console or a little bass boat, your kids aren't bringing their friends. There's just not enough room on the boat. So with this, you know, I could have each one of my kids bring a friend and still fish and tube and beach and do everything else that we do on this boat very comfortably and easily. So it's a great family boat. It's a great boat for larger families. If you've got if you've got 3 or 4 or 5 kids even, you know, a boat like this is perfect. And then it's also great for you dads or moms out there that want to fish, but also realize that maybe the other people in your family don't want to fish as much, and so you need to have a boat that gives you multiple options. I highly recommend Sylvan. They're a great pontoon brand made right here in the US, in Indiana, I believe. And I really am happy with this boat. Plan to use it for many years to come. And guys, if you have any questions at all about either fishing or you know, boating on a pontoon boat, I'd love to help you. If you're a mom or a dad who's trying to get your kids active in the outdoors, and you've got any questions about how to do that, how to go fishing, how to go camping, how to go hiking, how to go boating, using pontoons, you know, or any kind of boat, I'd love to help you. So drop your question in the comments. If you guys, if any of you are pontoon boat lovers and you've got any tips and tricks about using pontoon boats, drop those in the comments as well. And guys, hit me up on my other social media. I'm on Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, and Twitter. All the links are down below. And hit me up on there as well, and you can always send me a direct message on any of those platforms if you have any questions. Guys, I would love to connect with you, and I would love to help you get your kids outside. So Kemp Outside exists to help moms and dads take their kids camping, fishing, hiking, learning about nature, and developing a conservation ethic. And one of the greatest ways to do that is to get on a pontoon boat and go explore wherever it is that you live. So guys, thanks for watching Kemp Outside. If there's anything I can do for you, definitely drop me a comment or hit me up on those other social media. Don't forget to subscribe to Kemp Outside. If you've made it this far, I know you like the video, so hit that like button for me and hit that little bell icon that notifies you when we release new videos. As I said, Kemp Outside is your inside source for all things outside. So get yourself outside on a pontoon boat. We'll see you next time.